They wanted poverty spec, let them have poverty spec.
BBC One Extra, Capital Extra. So obviously Tony's uncle, who worked in the army, whose cousin's goldfish has been to Iran. Hey, what is going on, people? Welcome back to another video, and as I said in the intro, guys, this is gonna be, I don't know, part 1 of 2. Obviously with everything going on, I assume there's gonna be a shutdown, because obviously Tony's uncle, who worked in the army, whose cousin's goldfish has been to Iran. Raw, look at you guys, no respect for the smart car. That one was alright. We have seen better, we have had better. But yeah, guys, so off to my meeting now. I'm going to do some things I like, some things I don't like about the car. So again, each to their own, but I just thought, you know what, if there is a lockdown, like I said, at least there's content for me to edit to keep me insane and not go crazy, you know, not to go loco. Yeah, so first thing, I love music. So those of you that know me will know I love banging tunes, I love blaring the tunes, big boy tunes. If I'm on an album on the car and I've got Apple Music connected, I don't use Spotify, Apple guy. The thumb scroll wheel thing on this car doesn't seem to react. So say if I want to go through an album and scroll through, it has never ever allowed me to do that. I don't know if it's an update that can happen, I don't know, let me know if it is, but the thumb wheel scroller, whatever you want to call it, just doesn't engage at all. Unless I'm listening to radio, DAB, the DAB, unless I'm listening to DAB, it doesn't at all like let me scroll. If I'm listening to DAB, it'll let me scroll through Magic, Classic, Part, wait, what? I mean BBC One Extra, Capital Extra, Gangster FM, you know what I'm saying, all of those tracks there. But other than that, it's just a bit annoying that it doesn't allow you to do that. Very, very annoying. I find it an annoyance. Something else that is a bit weird for me, bearing in mind that my last car, that Mercedes A250 AMG line, it wasn't like the best car, but in terms of the spec, like, it had a parking sensor button. A smart car has a parking sensor button, which is a bit annoying for me, because at the end of the day, sure, I might want the visual aid to tell me that, but I don't want the big beep. And even if you turn it down, it's still like beep, 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 beep. It's like, just like, don't need it, just have the button. And the thing is, if you do spec the front, it's weird, you get the button, but on the rear you don't get the button. So it's kind of like a punishment. You didn't, no, German.
You didn't allow us to install the full spec on your car, no button for you.
Is that, maybe that's what they said, they just thought, no, don't put a button in there. They were like,
it's like, no, don't do it. They wanted poverty spec, let them have poverty spec.
Something else that I think is a bit old-fashioned is the whole adjustment thing on the wheels. So say if you want the seat to go up, you have to kind of like hold something and lift your booty up and lift up. And then the same as if you wanted to go down, you'd have to press it and just sit yourself down. And it's a bit annoying, that sort of thing. Like, I just don't really rate it. And I feel like over time it adjusts itself as well. It doesn't always feel locked in. And also the rear as well. So say if you're trying to adjust like your backrest, it's kind of like, I'm not going to do it while I'm driving, but it just slams you forward as if it's a 3-door Fiesta or something. And you know, when the Fiestas, you have that thing, it just goes bang. That's how it adjusts the rear. It doesn't really give you like, not, I don't know what it is, but the pulley thing that people normally have, the pulley, this looks so disgusting. But the, ooh, national speed, yeah, the pulley. Oh yes. And guys, make sure, I don't know obviously when this video is going to go out, but I have got a review coming to the channel very shortly. Stage 2 M140i, so Chris's car, make sure you're looking out for that. It's going to be a sick review. But yeah, as I was saying, the whole backrest thing, I just think it's a bit too, it's not very pointy. I just want to have a knob that I can just twist. Ah.
That's what she said.
So something that I feel here is there is way too many added extras on the M140i. So for me, with the M140i being the top of the range for the 1 Series, I would have thought they would have thrown in more, especially the Shadow Edition in particular. Apart from the cruise and the heated seats, which I think is even an option. Just don't know why, but it's even an option. I just feel like they kind of didn't really help people out with the whole M performance package. Like, I know it's not an M performance package. There isn't probably an M performance package. I don't really know. Don't really quote me on it. But I just feel like there's so many little things that should have just come as standard. So, for instance, the button I spoke about should have come as standard. A few others, like, I don't know, the cruise control. That's an added extra, and it's something that luckily I've got both. But I just feel like it's something that shouldn't have to be an added extra. Some certain things just come as standard. And if I want to compare it to, for instance, the A class, obviously the W176 shape, the shape that I had, I would have noticed, I would have seen straight away that car, AMG line, came spec'd with nearly everything you need. A tiny bit more in terms of options. Like, we shouldn't have to spec something fully spec to get everything. I just think as a base spec, it's not enough. And bearing in mind, don't get me wrong, like, I've got everything I need. I don't really need anything else. But one thing I would say, if someone could throw at me, would be side mirror folding, because it helps, and then it means you also get the dimming side thing when you put it in reverse, and that's quite useful. And I had that on the A class, and that was just AMG line spec there. No sunroof, nothing else. It was just, and it had it. So that's something that I'm not too keen on. The driving mode. So those of you that own it, you know you've got your Eco Pro, which puts you in coasting sometimes, turns down some of the power on the aircon and stuff, and comfort, which just gives you comfort driving, and then sport plus, DSC off. DSC off is if you're bad man, you want to slide it and thing. That's why you use the DSC off, yeah. There's no individual mode, and in most cars, I know on Audi they had it, you could put it in your dynamic select and choose what you want to have, and even in the Merc, like, I could put it in individual where I have full control over the gear changes and everything like that. But for some reason, there's no individual mode on this, and it's quite an annoyance. It's quite an annoyance, because I'd love to just have it full manual. Obviously, the Eco stop-start doesn't kick in. I'd have all of this powered down, so I wouldn't have much power going to the aircon, but still have it on, but just working at less power, which would be ideal. But there's no option for that. The only thing you could adjust is probably the chassis, so the steering and the throttle response. And for me, on this being like an M performance car, or M, I don't know what the right word is, the M Lite, you should have some sort of opportunity to obviously change the settings, but ideally have a setting, individual mode, customize it exactly the way you want. So, something else, the steering. Don't get me wrong, it does feel good, but for me anyway, this is weird. I like a really heavy steering wheel. Obviously, I like how it's like electronic, so obviously when you're doing the turns, it loosens up. But for me, it's just not heavy enough. It's still a bit light, and I don't know whether that's down to the car or whether that's down to the steering. I'm not too sure, but I don't know whether this video would have come out, but I have tracked the car, obviously, done it at Snip. Make sure you watch that video if you want. I'll put a little thing over there somewhere for you to watch. But the steering felt very light at high speeds, and obviously alignment has happened since then. Big shout out to Jetbull Tyre. But I'm not sure whether now, if I take it on track, it's gonna allow me to kind of hunker that power down, and whether it's going to feel different. But the steering wheel, the lightness just felt very light, and that's something that I wasn't really happy with. And if there's some sort of coding that can be done to make it feel heavier, then I'd be up for that. So I'll probably be shouting out define coding to be looking into that, to change the steering wheel weight if it is possible. But that's something I don't really feel like is there yet. So I feel like the weight of the steering wheel at higher speeds needs to be a bit more stiff and a bit more precise, because it feels a bit floaty at times. And I know there's loads of people can say, oh yeah, that changed the anti-roll bars, oh bushes, LSD, but I just think out of the box, it's for the power that it has, it doesn't give you a lot of confidence. Something else which I don't have to suffer anymore, because obviously I asked Sean to hook me up, so a man like Sean, without any adjustments, normally just works where it opens and closes, on full throttle it opens, and off throttle it closes. Easy enough. But I feel like it just needs a bit more work, because ideally Sports Plus open all the time, not just open when you've got your foot on the throttle. As soon as you take your foot off, it closes. I'm not a fan of that. Eco Pro, by all means, comfort, by all means, keep that stuff quiet. But me personally, I just feel like this car, if you put it in sports mode, it needs to be heard in sports mode, because with the lovely B58 engine that you've got up here, you're letting yourself down by not using that power. Oh mate, get out of the way. Oh yes baby, woo! Yes, and these Motec springs, boy, doing the job. Along with the spacers, still going strong. Yeah baby, lovely jubbly. I've got the ZF8 gearbox, so when it's at 70, 75 when you're on the motorway, obviously 70 or 69, you don't want to be doing above 70, eh? Good boys. There's no drone because it's at 1.5 revs anyway, so there's no drone entering the cabin, which is absolutely perfect. But yeah, something I'm keen to, so I don't know whether this video's gone out yet, but obviously I'm meeting up with Chris to review his stage 2 M140 at some point. I'm very, very, very curious to see whether the mid-pipe delete is obviously has brought drone into the car, and obviously if it has, then obviously I know straight away I won't be doing that. But yeah, the main thing for me is to ensure that I still have a cabin that I can use day to day, because I do daily this car, and I don't want it to be too intrusive and too obnoxious, just a tiny bit. The stability off this car isn't the greatest. With the Motec springs and obviously the stance, if you go for that package, it definitely is a game changer. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not sponsored ad, nothing like that. It definitely is a game changer. So if you are having any stability problems, definitely get that car lower down, because obviously you know how it works. Lower center of gravity, it's going to give you a slightly better road feel, and also it's going to improve how planted the car feels. Out of the box, if you are driving this car the way that you want to drive this car, you should drive this car, to be honest, it's not the most stable car. So maybe spend a 200-300 quid, just get those springs done, and that will just tighten up the front end and tighten up the rear end and give it that less bouncy feel. So yes guys, I thought, you know, with my 20-minute journey, I'd do a little review, or a little, like, I don't know, I've had the car for nearly a year now, so I thought, yeah, you know what, let's just bring some information to the public about how I feel, things I would like to change, things that I think are quite good about the car, and then that way, can I see? Yes I can. Whoa, we're gone again. Whoa. So yeah guys, as I was saying guys, literally I thought, you know, if they do go on shutdown, I'll film this. I was planning to film this video a lot later, and I was planning just like get it all done, so probably do both, but I thought, you know what, I had a bit of time before I get to this meeting now, because obviously guys, I don't know if you know, but I do filming, so for a few companies out there, you'll see them around, like obviously you should know about them. I do video, media, photos, etc. for those companies, so I thought, you know what, let's get this video done and pop it out, so that way if there is a lockdown or whatnot for some reason, then at least I've got some content to put out. So yes guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, as always, please give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, because there's loads more content, and make sure you check out my old content as well. I don't know why I keep doing that, but yeah guys, I'll see you in the next one. God bless.